So this is the Dodge. So you go 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, and it's still smoking. And you guys can kind of tell in the background, those are windows in the back that are kind of covered with some plastic stuff. It was windy that day when we did it, so it does kind of give you some decent real-world application there. And I would normally put that board out a few more feet there, but the problem was that the wind was blowing, you wouldn't actually hit the board. So it kind of helps trap it a little bit. So when I talk about trying to set shop environments up, we tried to play with some basic materials that would be extremely cost effective. I think that whole backdrop there is made out of masonite. It cost us like $10 or something at Home Depot. So some real simple things that shops can do to help eliminate the wind effects or whatever they need to be able to inspect these vehicles. So now what I want to do is go ahead and get away from the video here and show you guys what some of the components look like on the vehicles. So this is that same 98 that we showed you guys earlier there in the snap test. Here's the emissions label. It's kind of on the side of the engine there. Just again to show you guys kind of what it looks like. The reprogramming stickers, what those look like on the diesels. This is the edge module that we have running on that particular 98 Dodge. So I know we said Bully Dog and the other one. Each one of these trucks, we tried multiple aftermarket components separately. So this is just a picture of the edge one that goes with that 98. It's sitting up there on the dash, basically plugs into one of the ports in there. Here's the computer, the edge computer there in the engine compartment. Here's where one of the things ties in there to the map sensor, I believe. John, just correct me if I'm wrong. Is that one going to the pump or the map? Some of these pictures are pretty old, so. Yeah, and so the reason why I'm getting a little confused because so we have literally 3 different things loaded on this. So one, I think it's the Bully Dog goes into map and is tying into that piece of the component. So sorry, I'm not quite clear on that one. This is where the exhaust temperature probe is coming in there to the exhaust. No, they won't. And that's a good question. I'll take some more questions here in a second, but no, they won't be illegal. They are, the way we've been stating is they're an indicator. So if you do see something like this coming in, we'd ask the technician to look further and make sure that there's not a computer that is plugging into versus a gauge that's just telling you your exhaust temperature. So any gauges are obviously fine. And since you brought it up, and I didn't cover it in the presentation, but meant to, we're working on putting some basic EOs in place that will take care of exhaust brakes, will take care of the intake systems and anything cat back. So similar to what is on gasoline, with obviously the addition of exhaust brakes and those types of aftermarket equipment will be exempted and allowed on the vehicles. So, and any gauges are always okay for smog check. You know, we aren't out here to say you can't do anything to your vehicle. We're just saying we want it to go through CARB approval first. So. Again, just another snapshot. You can see some of the wiring in here. Some of the aftermarket wiring in here that's tying everything together. You can see they're using a little different loom, a little different kind of wire going on in here. So that's kind of what's going on there. This back here, this is the fuel pump. I mean, it's all legal equipment, but just kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. So then we go into the 04 Dodge here. Basic under hood picture of kind of what that engine looks like. This is the door label, so this guy's at 9,000 pounds. This is the Vecchi label, and you can see on this one here, catalyst, nothing, ECS, nothing down here on the second line. This is the Bully Dog unit that sits up on the dashboard. This is where it plugs into the OBD2 port, so it's just a basic plug-in module. There's not too much else modified on this particular one. You do have the exhaust gas temperature gauge again. Most of them have like the stainless steel wire, and sometimes they'll go off into a brown thermocouple wire type of thing. Yep. Yes. Yes, good point, Tom. Yeah, basically on this on this particular Dodge, it's an out-of-state Dodge, so it's a federal vehicle. And obviously, federal is legal. It's going to pass its smog check. But this one has no equipment on it. It's just one of the reasons why it was a great test vehicle. We were kind of starting with the worst-case scenario with this particular one. So it has nothing. This one, if you don't have the aftermarket components on it, it does slightly smoke, but it's very similar to that Ford we saw earlier. It dissipates extremely quickly. So it's literally around for less than a second. It's there and it's gone. So it's, again, it'd be a passing vehicle in stock mode. And again, this vehicle has, I think it's 90,000 miles or something on there. So it kind of gives you an idea of what we're dealing with. If it was a California certified vehicle, it would have had a catalyst and some basic emission components. Now, just because the underhood label says there's no emission components, there are emission components on this vehicle that we would expect a smog check technician to take a look at. So those are found in the different application guides out there, the Mitchell guide, the Motors guide, all data information. Those types of things are going to tell you exactly what you need to be looking at on here. So this here is a picture of the heated air intake. You can kind of see this block down here, which I'm not circling very well. This whole piece in here has this, the large battery wire coming into it. It's basically heating up the intake when the vehicle starts up. That's considered an emissions component. This is showing a picture here of the charge air cooler or the intercooler. And on most of the Vecchis, it will list a CAC as the charge air cooler. So if you guys are curious what that is, that's what's going on with that. This is just taking the basic cover off there. Underneath it, you do have the CDR system sitting in here with all the tubes coming out over here. So that is how it sits on the Dodge, and that's considered an emission component. Turbochargers, those are also an emission component. Most of the labels will list them as a TC, as in turbocharger. And this again is a still shot of the video. Well, we were taking pictures and video, all kinds of things, try and get you guys something decent to show you what we were looking at. A couple snaps of that. This is an '06 Chevy. That's what it looks like. So things like stickers on the side, stickers on the back windows. This is the stock place that Banks tells you to put the sticker on this particular vehicle. Not a failure if you have a sticker on a vehicle, obviously, but again, an indicator that you may want to look a little closer at this vehicle to make sure that it has an EO for that, for anything Banks. So you guys can actually check on ARB's website, just like you do for gasoline. If there's an aftermarket component, check it, see if it has an EO or not. Here's the Banks switch that sits inside the engine, the cab there, little switch. You can put it on different modes and things. So obviously during the, if it's there, it doesn't have an EO, it automatically fails. So if you were checking it for smoke, you just put it in stock mode and run it for smoke. So this is showing, you got to look kind of down the side of the engine compartment there and the passenger side of the vehicle on these Chevys and the Duramaxes to see this. But this is the exhaust temperature sensor we've been talking about, and we've showed on all the vehicles so far. So it kind of runs up here, and this one has, the chrome-plated wire there, the stainless steel braided wire, and then goes into the brown thermocouple wire across the front of the engine. This has a Y connector here on the mass airflow sensor. So it kind of comes down. You can see the factory sensor sitting down here, kind of tucked away. We tried to hide them a bit, but you can tell, it doesn't have the normal factory wire loom. And again, that would be an indicator, oh my gosh, this thing may have something on it. Let me look a little further into this and make sure it's got EOs for this particular vehicle. This is showing the main wiring harnesses in here. All of these bare wires are all aftermarket Banks wires. They're tapping into the main harnesses. Again, kind of giving you guys an idea of what you'd be looking for. So this is directly as you look down, you can see the air clean or the intake over here. So it's pretty much in plain view. The computer is sitting down. It's tucked down in here a little ways. And usually it's mounted up top. We tried to hide it, kind of figure out where, if a person wanted to try and pass a smog so you wouldn't be able to see it, it is kind of tucked down in there a little bit. Yeah. Normally, yes, exactly. And again, it's just a good indicator to look a little further into, well, this doesn't seem normal. Yeah, what's going on here? So